Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Backyard Coffee Talks. I'm Rodney Outlaw, and today we gonna have some great conversation with a good friend, Norma Hernandez, and my wife, Elaine Outlaw. And today we'll be drinking coffee from our local Walla Walla Roastery. We have wonderful pastries from our local Colville Street Patisserie. Thank you both for sponsoring us and supporting this video series. And thank all of you for tuning in today. With that being said, while we do introductions, I'm gonna ask Norma to introduce herself. She's a really good friend of mine. I enjoy her company. I'm an amazing person. And while she's doing that, I'm not gonna be rude, but I'm gonna get some coffee.
I'm a little jealous that you're gonna get the coffee and pastries first.
Okay, I'll wait.
No, thank you. No, please. I'm Norma Hernandez. And, I have such a routine of how I introduce myself sometimes because I'm always usually introducing myself on an official sense, but I am a College Place resident. I'll start there.
Yes.
I've lived in the Walla Walla Valley since 2017. Prior to that, I lived in Seattle, in the big city of Seattle, for 30 years. Today, aside from living in College Place, officially, I guess I'm in my official roles, I am the executive director of the Health Center, which is a nonprofit school-based health clinic in Walla Walla that provides, yes, absolutely, free, low-barrier behavioral health and primary medical care to students in Walla Walla Public Schools, middle and high schools. And I am also have the honor as well of being an elected official. I am the mayor of the city of College Place. That's a position I have held since 2019. I first started on the city council and eventually was appointed to the mayor position in August of 2019. They're having some fun back there.
Sorry, those are our dogs.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And then I was elected into the positions in 2021 and then again most recently in 2025. So I love to be able to serve my communities in a variety of ways.
Well, thank you. You shared a lot. I love it.
See,
you're busy. I mean, I know you're busy.
We're all busy,
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
Yep.
Would you like to introduce yourself? I can press this. Introduce yourself.
Mine's short.
It doesn't matter. It's not a contest.
Sorry.
Good. I'm Elaine Outlaw. I've been married to Rodney for however many years, 15 now. I'm native to Walla Walla, born and raised, and we moved back here in 2015 after I was retired
Yes.
Turn it a bit.
from the Navy. It's gonna be until you get the.
There we go.
I'm looking for it. It's hard to see. There we go.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's coming out much better. Okay. All right. Thank you. Don't care, it's hot.
I pre-filled mine.
You retired from the Navy.
Yeah.
How many years were you in there?
Just 4 years,
Okay.
and I ended up getting medically retired.
Okay, 4 years is more than just.
Yeah.
I know it's the basic, but that's pretty.
It's the basic. When I was diagnosed with MS, and you can't keep being in the Navy with MS. But Walla Walla thankfully has a great VA.
Yes. And thank you both for hanging today.
Yeah,
So-
no, this is great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Sunday morning.
Yes.
Couldn't
Yes.
be any lovelier.
And I got a little jealous because you was talking about you got to do some gardening this weekend, and I look around and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got so much weeding to do.
Well, see, that's work. That's not gardening. Really gardening, like putting in the pretty flowers,
Oh,
putting in,
that's
like
good. Yeah.
tomatoes,
Okay.
my peppers that I have, and a few flower arrangements. I like to try to add color to my yard.
Oh.
But then my husband does walk around and says, the yard's a mess. It's like, where?
Look the flowers.
Look at how pretty this is blooming.
Yeah, don't look over there.
I'm curious how you got into doing city council, because I know how Rodney did, and it was kind of its own funny little story. But
Yeah.
were you already civic minded? Were you?
So I mentioned that I lived in Seattle, and I moved into Seattle in 1987 before it was really hit big, right? It was just on the verge of becoming Seattle, right? Grunge was just becoming a thing. I had seen what Seattle was back then, right? What it was more community, more neighborhood oriented. I lived in the area called West Seattle, and it was a nice individualized kind of communities. And I saw over the next 30 years how bad public policy created the mess that it's in today. They were not making decisions based on the needs of the communities and the individualities. They were kind of trying to blanket things and just not involving the community. Microsoft was still relatively new. Obviously Boeing has always been Boeing, but Boeing's always been more seen as a blue collar kind of.
The engineer.
Right, exactly. But they still support, they still lived in traditional housing. There weren't those mega mansions. They weren't buying the single family houses and building these ridiculously funky skinny houses that are 4 levels too high because that's what they could fit on the lot, right? But then Amazon started growing, and that's I think what really changed the vibe, right? Even when grunge was there, they were still grunge though, right?
Yes, exactly,
It was music, it was art.
Fremont was still Fremont.
Exactly.
It was the center of the universe.
The Central
Right.
District.
The Central District, right? Beacon Hill, they were all still the communities they originally had been for years,
I
right?
agree.
Even the International District had still been a big area for our Asian neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Amazon started coming in, and then all those other tech companies started coming in, and it just really changed the vibe. There was a lot of young people making way too much money.
Yes.
Right.
Didn't know how to
That didn't know.
balance
Right.
money.
And they were spending ridiculous amount of money, willing to pay rent for, whatever little studio or just even an apartment, kicking out families that have lived there for decades,
Yes.
right? They eventually started pushing out the communities that have been there. Like I said, International District was highly Asian community. The Central District was highly the African American community.
Yep.
They started catering to those kind of policies and not thinking forward about what about the families? What about the people that want to raise their kids here?
Stores that getting taken over by having a Starbucks on one corner and then directly kitty corner another Starbucks.
Another Starbucks, and then over there was a Tully's, and then it just right. So it was bad public policy, right? And they were all excited because it's tax money. Tax revenue is good for a city because then we can start doing wild and crazy things. But it wasn't good for the people of the city.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. It was that kind of mindset that led me towards wanting to get more civically involved. Not that College Place will ever be Seattle, but no,
Never say never.
But what I wanted it to do was remain a community for the community, right? I didn't want to kick out the people that traditionally called it home. Well, at the same time, I also wanted it to be a place where newcomers like myself would be welcomed in and be able to establish roots and become part of the community. And so I was trying to find things to get involved in this area. And I had looked at different nonprofits, and then the position for city council came open. I had never done it, never been involved, never even thought about it, but a city council member had passed away. And the seat came open, and they were doing an interview process. Now, run for election, I probably would have never done it, right? For the first time around, I applaud you for being so brave to run for election for a seat. I don't think I would have ever done that, but interview I could do. What I didn't realize that it was a public interview process, right? That's how naive I was. I didn't realize I was going to be competing against 7 other candidates, all of them men, and all of them part of the Adventist community, which has established College Place. So I was truly
an outsider,
an outliner, right? It really was, and plus they were highly educated, and they were, well qualified, and they're all community minded men. However, I think at that point the city council just wanted somebody a little different than what the rest of them look like, right? Plus, I have a finance background. I was in banking, I'm in credit unions. I had a 20-year career in credit unions and running credit unions, and that's really what they were looking for.
Yeah, and the city needed it.
And that's what they needed.
Drastically compared to the College Place I knew.
That's what I hear.
It truly has. It's more welcoming. It's prettier.
Excellent.
Like you drive through it, and it doesn't. I don't know. It has a classier.
Thank you.
Feel to it.
Yes.
And that was something that I found. Builds community, right? So when I did get on city council and eventually mayor, that's why I wanted to put things in place that made it feel welcoming, making it feel like people belong here, want to be here, want to travel through here, even. Trees, right? Trees just add such a different feel. So putting streets down College Avenue, things like that really is what does it. So
I noticed too the companies seem to have stepped up to be more welcoming to more than just Seventh-day Adventists, because before everything was always closed Friday night, Saturdays, nothing sold any meat,
Right.
no one had anything with caffeine, and,
Yeah.
which is unusual, especially for a college town,
Right.
but
And for an entire community.
yeah,
Yes.
entire
Right.
community. It's like it's
Right.
fine if you want to, live your life in however you want to, but it makes
Absolutely.
it more welcoming to more people, and
Yes.
probably brought up more revenue for college.
It does.
the
Yeah.
library.
My first weekend after moving into my house in College Place, I went to up the street to go put gas, and it was on a Saturday. And I go in, and I mean, I went like, the pumps wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I had zero clue that it's because it was closed because it was a Saturday.
Right.
It was such a shocker for me to realize I couldn't get gas in my own community on a Saturday.
Right, that you had to go drive to the town over to.
Yeah, absolutely, to
That
go
would
get
shock
some
me
gas.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as the community has diversified, so have the businesses.
Yes.
Right.
Adapt or die.
Right. Well, Andy's Market, right? They've really, while they still cater to their very core vegetarian, traditional, right? But they now have a deli, they have a meat section, right? They're having other types of foods come in that help serve other communities as well.
Well, even the college is diversified so much.
Absolutely.
It's so funny how often I have to remind people in the community of that. Like when they speak of the college, like when they speak of Walla Walla U, they still have that old mindset. And I'm like, no, you should go over there. It's they're really diverse over there.
Yep.
At the college, and they, it's people like, wait, for what? I'm like, yeah, for real. Like, I go over there and meet with Pedrito and their Black Student Union work
Absolutely.
over there, and it's like, man, they're really diverse on that campus, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah, and they're really growing. They're welcoming it. They're welcoming those
Yes.
changes, right?
Mhm.
While of course they're a faith-based organization, but they still want to make sure that people who may not be of their faith are still welcome, right? And still feel safe in this community. They're still learning engineering. They're still learning nursing. They're still learning music.
And I love that because the message they're sending is that good people deserve access, right? Like, as long as you not being disrespectful,
Right.
being a bad person, we are
Their quality education.
academia. We're academia institution. You should be able to come and learn here with us.
Yep. And the university is such an integral part of the city of College Place,
Yes.
right? Obviously, it's our namesake, right? Right. But they're still such an integral part. They're still such a partner. They're one of our, if not the largest employer of our city. And they bring opportunities to us in the sense that they bring students to campus that hopefully will stay and call College Place home. Right. Or invest in College Place, whether it be in business or their talents or however else they might, be part of a growing community.
Yes.
I wish that Walla Walla and College Place were more like sister cities and bridged a little bit
It's fun.
more. It feels a little bit competitive.
It
almost.
is.
Yeah.
And it's like if your neighbor is thriving, so will you.
Norma and I have had those conversations.
I bet.
And yeah, because I love Norma and I love the work she does. She's such a good person and she works so hard to make sure that her community is thriving, but those around her are thriving, right? And so I always asking Norma, like, hey, how do we do this, right? But my own take on it is, I think the more we get community organizations involved with that mindset to lead the way, then the two towns themselves will follow. That's just my opinion on it.
I hope so because it's just no different like your neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
If your neighbor next door wasn't thriving, that impacts your quality of life.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's the same as the cities, and I would like to see more working together over the competitiveness
Me
of
too.
fighting for that same, the business, right? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna go for the food.
That's why I had a feeling. That's exactly why I left it.
That looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
I know. The patisserie food is so good.
So, we're always fighting over the same tax dollars in a sense, but I think it would still just be better for all of us all around. We might be able to attract more businesses. Everybody asks about, why isn't Costco coming? Well, Costco is that story, right? Costco will not come to Walla Walla Valley because 15 years ago, College Place and Walla Walla were fighting over Costco, and Costco got so mad they said, you guys are dysfunctional. They're
Yeah.
not even coming to your community, and they refuse to come back. They will not even consider it. I think so many of us, you don't even realize where College Place starts and Walla Walla ends, or vice versa, unless you're well known into.
And like,
I just said that. I just
Right.
said that.
you cross, but it's that one street, and when Home Depot,
Right.
College Place,
Right,
other
exactly.
side, Walla Walla. It would be. I feel like that is actually, speaking of that location, the place that Walla Walla and College Place could truly become the sister cities, because there's the corner, there's Home Depot, but all of that could get developed. The old mall put money into that, because we need more affordable
Yes.
places to shop for local Walla Walla people.
Yes.
And that could be, I keep kind of waiting for somebody to, I don't know, with big money and lofty goals.
In a good heart.
In a good heart.
Yeah, right.
Go out to the right, you
Yeah.
wish, but
Right.
not, Did you ever shop at the U District?
Absolutely, yeah.
And they've
yeah.
got like a cool little, there's restaurants, there's things, and then there's where there's a kid's little play park
Right.
and things, and it was covered, but outside.
Yes.
You could do this outside shopping. And I'm like, that would,
So like the University Village area, that's what
Yeah.
you're talking about, right?
like,
Yeah.
it could,
It could. And now that, we have Highway 12 on one end and 125 on the other,
Yeah.
right? It's going to be a thoroughfare right through
It
it.
is.
And it really could thrive and benefit both communities.
Both
We just
yeah.
take getting some agreements to do so.
I was impressed that Walla Walla and College Place developed, wasn't it the first creative district
Yes.
that spanned over 2 cities?
Yeah. Koala. It's called the Koala Art District.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, like to me, like that's what gave me hope.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's that collaboration piece.
But you know what it took? It took community members to do that.
See, yes. Yes.
The government had to step out of it.
Yes.
Right? And it had to let the community members take
Yes.
the lead. And they're the ones that work together with no thought as to, who's stepping on whose toes, right? They
Right.
just collaborated. And then they came to us, both cities, and said, look, this is what we want. We're one community and no one's done it. We're not even sure it's going to work because the state of Washington might not have even approved it.
Right.
But they put together such a good presentation, and then the 2 cities did come together and support it. And so with the backing and the support of the 2 cities, and then the community leading it, we became the first
Yeah.
multiple city.
Yeah. And I was
Art
so
district.
happy. I was so impressed with that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a good sign.
Hopefully, as we continue working towards that goal.
Yes.
I don't know, attitudes change, ownership of this is our community, not my community, right? Kind of thing.
yeah, it seems a little bit of it is that Walla Walla kind of became a bit on the unaffordable side, and College Place was more affordable, so you ended up with more Walla Walla people moving out there, and then that makes it more, because you're like, okay, well my brother and his wife live over there,
Exactly.
and so now you're going to these places. It's so funny because like a bigger city, you don't think of it as that big of a deal to drive like far. You know what I mean? Even Tri-Cities, they're like, oh, my friend lives in Kennewick and I live in Richland and I'm just going to drive over there. It's not
Right.
whatever. But why is it this feeling, for the longest, like, oh, they're all the way out in College Place.
I know.
It's like, it's 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's always 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's always 10. Isn't that hilarious? It is. It just seems like such a drive. And at least for me, working from home has also changed that.
Yes.
Is you're not going out every day on a regular basis like you used to, right? So now when you do have to go out, it's like, oh man, I got to get dressed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I feel like I have to go people.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like I'm going to have to go talk and not just text.
Yeah, after quarantine kind of ended, it was like, I think I got socially awkward, like extra. I was already, the volume got turned up.
It could have got turned up so much worse though. I think everybody's volume got turned up.
I know, so then it just sort of like became baseline. It wasn't as bad because we're all weird.
I think it also made people show their true colors too though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
it definitely brought up some realness that shocked a lot of us, and then to the point where I don't think it really became so much of worrying about if you're gonna get me sick. It's just more of a, I saw what you posted.
Oh, yeah.
I saw what you said.
Yeah.
Right? Like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I definitely don't want to be around you now.
But it also created some communities,
Yes.
which good and bad, right? Because then it also causes you to start separating. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if things are always going to go in that direction now.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. I agree.
data center, no data centers,
Yes.
right? You know, environmental, non-environmental, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
right? All those things is like it's even separating within the communities that built communities, right?
Yes, it is, right?
I'm trying to hope that the generation like Sydney and Tobin that went through COVID and have gone through this divisive political environment, and they're going to be this generation that's going to want to change it and go back to community and go back to like bringing people together.
I hope so.
I think they will. I think
I was impressed by Wahai. They did the ice walkout,
yeah.
which was really cool, organized by the high school students.
What?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think they will. I think if you look at the older kids, even older than ours, they really mean policy over party. Like that is a way of life for them. I mean, if you look at what Washington Youth Alliance organizations are doing, like you got all these like younger youth organizations popping up that's like actually walking the walk. Like you got, 20,000 youth Democrats doing a Rock the Vote concert June 20th in Spokane.
Right.
Like it's like thousands of them.
That's a lot of kids coming together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, and so they're starting to like walk
you're
and
seeing
believe
the
that,
shift
right?
even in America with some of the youngest people getting voted into Congress that are amazing, you know, and they're changing up the Democratic Party to a more progressive, like these I've been watching the primaries, and the incumbent old school taking money from shady places in there, even though they're Democrat, and the progressive is winning there because younger generation.
How do you even know they're shady? You don't know what they are.
I don't know what they are. Just keep calling it dark money. I thought that was just a name.
I know, that's what actually they should just start calling it. It's the shady places pack.
Yeah. and that's, you know, the part, there it is. You know, Rodney and I have had this conversation many times about the party politics, right? That's anybody who wants to actually get things done and see things done are tired of the party politics.
Yes.
They're just tired because they're tired of the party making the decisions of who will say what, who will do what, when you can do it. Meanwhile, nothing's getting done.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for, you know, the politicians getting richer.
Yes.
Right?
The politics as usual.
Right.
Right? That line is very real, right?
And then they're good finger pointing when we end up in a situation that we're in.
Well, and I think I'm to just be honest and honest on camera, I'm kind of tired of taking the high road all the time. Like, dude, I just gotta call it what it is. It's like sometimes I need to be like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I come from an era too where like I supposed to be nice, I'm supposed to be respectful, but I also had elderly people in my family like, somebody hit you, you hit them back.
Yeah. You better hit them harder.
Right.
That's what I tell my kids. You don't hit first, but you better hit harder.
Yeah. And I feel like we need to be doing that. We owe to give a couple licks. Like that's where I'm at. Like, right?
I feel like what really got me was when Mitch McConnell stepped in forever ago and wouldn't let Obama to get I think it's Garland.
Garland. It was Garland
in the court.
Yeah.
And that was shiesty. And Democrats just rolled over and they were like, rub my belly.
Yep.
You know?
And the next time around, they're like, okay, let's vote their guy in.
Yeah, let's get their guy. Oh, they're not so bad. I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dianne Feinstein, before she left government, was listening to one of the judges do the interview process.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I think that's interesting." And you're like, "Why are you so old?"
Right? Yeah. Are you even here? Be able to hear?
No.
What are they still doing? What is it about power that makes it that people never want to let it go?
It assumes their identity. That's what it really comes down to. They so much of an empty shell that without that identity, they're afraid to face who they may or may not be.
But
that's how I take it.
And you know, it's really hard because I love me some Michelle. I just don't agree with her go high,
I don't.
I'm sorry, Michelle. It's like, I'm going to go low and I'm going to kick even lower. Right?
At the moment, it resonated.
Right.
When the True Colors came out, it was
Right.
like, we can't do that anymore.
You can't. But I think I'm always reflecting because I'm thinking of Supreme Court. And I think back to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who I absolutely loved. She was a trailblazer. She worked hard. She earned her seat. But she was at a point where she probably should have retired before she died.
She should have retired
Right.
before it was somebody else's has
That's
nefarious ideas.
Had she retired instead of dying in the seat,
we would have had a better.
we wouldn't have had the situation we're in.
Yeah.
Right? Because she had an opportunity to retire when there was a non, or less biased. I don't know how you want to word it. It depends on you. That first seat got open, and then everybody else said, "I'm going to retire now that there's a president in that, pressuring me to retire."
Yes.
And
they just got.
And then now we've got what we've got.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Supreme Court that's truly not independent thinkers.
Oh,
right,
all.
which is disappointing, and I don't care what party you're at.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the bidding of somebody else rather than your own constitution, that just and
the people.
And I kind of feel like, unfortunately, that Ruth started that.
It's sad that that's what happened.
And I hate feeling that way.
Her legacy.
Yep. At some point, you got to see what you are and say, you know what, I got to retire.
But
for the good of the institution.
Yes, exactly.
They all so old. Term limits would help.
Yeah.
But it's that same thing of like, would you let your 80-year-old grandfather drive you around and plan an entire party for your 16-year-old kid and do all of the things and get a hold of everyone and be on top of all of the things and emailing everyone and run a company on the side and no, Grandpa needs to rest.
Right.
Why is Grandpa sitting behind some really important desks running a country that they don't understand? The working man, average age person,
Yes, right.
20 to 50. They have no idea.
Denial probably has a big part because they themselves deny. I can still drive perfectly fine while they're going into the other lane.
My brain works great. I remember everything. I remember what I was wearing when I was 17.
You're like, then what are you doing with two different pairs of shoes on?
Right, exactly.
That's the style.
Meant to do that.
I want to retire.
I hope I have that wisdom.
Lane all the time. I tell Lane, like, I don't want to wait till I'm 65. Can I do it at 62 and a half? Like, how do we figure this out?
I hear you. I would love to go live.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, and I'm sitting here thinking I want to retire at 65. And I know it's not going to happen. I'm 58. Right. It's 7 years away. Financially, it's just not getting any easier. But dang, that was my goal because I didn't want to still have to do things.
Yes.
I loathe having to go to Walmart, but I took Sydney there. I think we went yesterday morning, and very, very old people are the ones that are the tellers that are checking us out. And we have our 75-year-old grandparents that should be in
retirement or going to the senior center, being with their community instead of having to still get up and go to work.
Yes.
Companies like that don't often give people full time, so they aren't even getting any kind of extra health insurance benefits.
Right. It's enough to maybe supplement their groceries. Right. Just
hopefully they.
But it's sad that they even have to. But it also means that their community, so their family, are in a position where they can't really help them either.
Exactly.
Right. So you see that where the financial impact just trickles because it's not just your seniors, right? It's that next generation below them and that generation, because now everybody's trying to survive.
Yeah.
And now you can't take care of your parents like people used to be able to take care of parents, right? Where everybody comes together and supports to help pay mom and dad's rent or something, and it's just not that easy anymore.
And I think it also just becomes the norm. I remember growing up in North Carolina and watching the older people work till they're really old. And even as a kid, like at an early age, you just buy into that's just what it is. That's just how it's gonna be.
Oh gosh.
And it's sad at how young we get indoctrinated into that mindset.
Yeah. Right. Nothing but respect to them, because I'm, like I said, I'm 57 and I'm getting up and I'm like, oh, right? I can't imagine being 70, 75, having to get up and go to work and stand on my feet.
But then, like we said, what do you do, right? Because it's like things cost so much. Like, you don't have a choice. You gotta find a way to survive, not even live anymore, but
Right,
just survive.
just survive.
Like even with a good paying job. Yeah, I see Elaine, like she handles manages our finances, and she sit down, and I'm always working. And to us, we're like, we make decent money. And then it's like, no, she like, man, this week we got to tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
We
Yeah.
talked to the kids about the fact that the reality may be multi-generational living. If you know, parents, like, if we want to have grandkids, if we want to see grandkids, how are they going to find a partner? How are they going to be able to have kids and support unless we just do multi-generation? We all work, we all stay here and take care of each other, and
Right.
hopefully we're grandparents that are fit enough that grandkids could run around and we could actually manage them and not be physically impaired. But I mean, that's how people did it.
That's how people, and a lot of immigrant communities are still living that way. My husband's family, to survive, there's 4 generations in one house right now.
Wow.
They're literally
That's
from
great.
aunt's
I'm
mother,
jealous.
his
That
sister,
sounds
niece,
cool.
and then
Yeah.
grandniece.
I know. I
Exactly.
think that was something that went wrong a bit in America, to like get your kids to leave
To
at
shame.
18 and
At
stuff.
18, kick them out
Yeah, you
because
gotta go to college. You better go make something. of
go
your
find a
life.
job or something.
Yeah, and
Move out.
that's fine if you're in Minneapolis and we're in, whatever. We don't. That's fine. We'll fly and see you once a year.
That's probably part of why, nobody really wealth built either.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody just right away, you got kicked out and you started surviving on your own and you never
And you
built
went
that
into
wealth.
debt to get education.
Right.
You see a lot of the younger people nowadays is back in that philosophy of multi-generational, and you're starting to see families that can afford to do it, like put studios above garages.
I was a kid that was pushed out. Like, this is what we expect of you. You go to college, there aren't any other options. This is what you do. And I really think that I would have benefited from taking my time and figuring out who I was a little bit more.
Sure.
Instead of getting out there, I don't know why we think 18 is all of a sudden an adult and you're supposed to know what you're going to be and do and want from life.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are those people that are like dead set that they're going to be a surgeon, and whatever it is, they were born with the drive to go and do and all the things. But
That's why.
I think a lot of
But I
us
think that's
know
why.
what we are.
And I think too, that's why diverse industry, especially in rural towns, like attracting diverse industry and jobs in small towns is so important, because if you look at a lot of young people that grow up in small towns like ours, and they be very solid individuals, and they go to like the community college and they study and they get good grades and they learn a trade. But when we don't have a job here that they can then go, so they have to leave this community to go out, even though they got all this knowledge and skill set, they're having to leave a support system that they've learned how to navigate, right? And so they'll go somewhere and the cost of living has changed, the dynamics have changed, they have really no support system, right? And they end up like failing and coming back, right? Because of that very reason. Like, I've heard so many people talk about that data point of like, people are having to leave small towns to go find jobs at a young age, but still not being able to succeed because they don't have a support system in place.
And that is a huge conundrum here,
Yes,
right, in our
yes.
community, because we want our youth to stay, but then we're competing, my dad has had his, I'm just making this up because it's not my dad, but somebody would say, my dad's worked at this job for 30 years. And well, that means dad's not opening any of that job up for somebody else, right?
So funny. I talked about
very
that
true.
with
That-
friends of the family, and the dad was a professor at Whitman, and he just wouldn't retire. And his youngest son went to school to get his PhD, and because all he ever wanted to be was a professor like his dad, and he couldn't get a job as a professor because all these professors won't leave.
Right.
Like, sound familiar? Like Congress.
My son can't get a job.
Because there's just not enough
It's like, honey, retire and make room. Like, you got to get out of the way for the next generation. I'm sure you're still good at what you do. You've done it.
Your pension is good.
I think the lack of workforce opportunities is probably the largest detriment in this community to our youth, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not drugs, it's not alcohol, it's the lack of opportunities to
Yes.
make something of yourself,
I
to
agree.
find something that you love doing or that you enjoy doing
Yeah.
while able to support yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I agree. I think I agree with that, and I think it makes it harder for our trade programs to evolve. Right, like we don't get to see what so many, like when you step outside of our community and go to like Seattle, Spokane, like even bigger places and look at trade programs and looking at what they're offering as trades, they would be like offer like 20 times the amount of trades that we are offering.
Right.
And our community will say, well, because there's no jobs here for that, so we shouldn't be teaching that. Because we need to attract the jobs.
Right, because you got to have the workforce for those companies to come here.
To know that we have that workforce,
That they're going to be able to hire people right off the bat to do the work.
And that's what I've been loving about Arlene with the chamber about the film industry, like the Firestone commercial going down June 2nd.
Fun.
Right? And one of the students from our program got hired to work on it. He haven't even graduated. He graduated on the 13th. He's gonna work.
Good for him. That's awesome.
But it's like it's like I fight so many people in the community about a program like mine, where they're like, I don't see the jobs, Rodney. I don't see the jobs. I'm like, yes, because the jobs won't come here because ain't nobody qualified to do them.
Yeah.
We need to let people know that we now have qualified people to do these jobs, so that then people can start saying, okay, right? Because last year we went from having 0 audio engineering job descriptions in our community to this year having 6 posted. Like paying positions, they're not 40 hours yet. They're not.
That's pretty awesome,
but we went to 6 places in our community posted positions for audio engineers.
I think Tron,
right?
You have a student that's doing some concerts at Tron.
We have our female student got a paid internship this summer at Powerhouse, being an audio engineer.
Nice.
Like, and it's like, but like you said, like we got to train our youth so that those industries will be like, okay, we'll come here.
Yes.
Well, I think a lot of our community, the struggle I run into with a lot of our community, they see it the other way around. Like the industry has to be here first, and then we can train people. Well, that's not to the industry. They in their brain, they're like, we're losing money while we're waiting for you to train.
That's not how it happened with the enology and viticulture school. We had wineries coming in here, and then somebody put the money in at community college because they were like, hey, we should probably be training people how to grow and make wine.
Yes.
And then, the culinary program took off because we get tourism, you get more restaurants. So you should probably have people learning.
That was the same thing with the film industry when we did that panel here. But they talked about it from an economic development, how it touch almost every industry in this community.
Yep.
And surrounding community. And lodging, food, sales tax, so we buy things. Locations, right? Like everything. They need film students, people coming out of film programs at the colleges to work at them. They need the audio kids to work at them, right?
Like cosmetology, people hair, makeup. I think they do worse.
Carpentry,
cosmetology should start doing like SARS and guts. And,
Absolutely. There is just so much that could happen if you just built up our skill set first.
Yes, I agree.
Right? Build up our skill set.
And trust the process. Trust that if you're training people, some might go to LA, but some might stay here and have it.
I know, especially in this day of digital where so much could be done remotely.
Yes.
Companies are looking for lower cost places to establish themselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And some place like Walla Walla Valley.
Yes.
Walla Walla Valley. I like to try the Valley. The Valley would be much more inexpensive than having to go to the major cities where the workforce is currently at. It takes a bigger mindset and investment to do that. I know there's Innovate. It's a tech company here, right? Mm-hmm. When he first moved over here, his goal was to raise local talent to work for, and he struggled.
Yes.
He ended up having to try to recruit in Seattle and then convince these Seattle kids to move over here to do the jobs, which then struggled because they were Seattle kids. Yes. They weren't kids from here, right? It wasn't their vibe. And as an industry, we're lucky that he stuck to it and stayed in the Valley, but it's too much struggle. And not everybody's invested in a community as a person. And if you don't provide that ability to have the talent there, right? They're just not going to stick.
They're just not going to stick around.
Part of it is that we downtown spaces and sit on them and want a really high price rent that is a Seattle type cost of rent. What do you do to fix it? I know what Pendleton has done, and it's been working. It's just tax the crud out of them if they sit on a vacancy.
So there's investors that they consider themselves long-term investors.
Right.
They buy these properties with the full intent of sitting 10, 15, 20 years on that property.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't rent, it's a tax write-off. It's a
Yeah.
business loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's no loss to them to not be collecting that rent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody's going to give me $3,000, all right, write off $3,000. Which is it, right?
Right.
Kind of thing. But their whole business model is to sit on it.
Yeah.
That's not good for our community.
No, and that's not a good like investment for them in the future anyway, because then eventually that's not sustainable.
And my
It's
motto
like-
is if you're gonna get that tax write-off one way or another, you're gonna get your compensation one way or another, then you should have to put in what the tax that the community is losing
right.
one way or another.
Yeah, but you know why it benefits them or that it works for them is because their portfolio is diverse enough.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of West Side properties that make all the money they need. So these losses aren't hurting them.
Yeah,
in
balance
any means.
that out.
They're able to, we're a write-off for all the profits they make on the West Side.
Yes.
But meanwhile, we have all these blighted corner buildings that are empty
not
and no
opportunities
industry.
for like younger business owners, and then that hurts the business owners that are already down there because we're not getting as much
And-
traffic as we should. And
Tax revenue off the books, so improvements in the community become harder too
Yeah.
because of that loss of tax.
And that's, so I think that's the thing. A lot of people also don't understand how taxes work when it comes to municipalities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our general fund, so let's just talk about a city's general fund. That's what pays for our fire, our police, our EMS. All we have in Washington is sales tax and property tax,
Yep.
right? That's it. That's where you get your money from.
Yes.
yeah,
If you gotta pay your police officers more, if you gotta buy, a fire engine that used to be $40,000 is now $300,000 because
Yeah.
of technology changes.
Yeah.
garbage trucks are really expensive.
So
and-
what do you do to cover that? It's not like you can't not invest in those. You have to do it. So you go to the same pool. So you're pricing people out of their own homes
Yeah.
because we don't have a heck of a lot of options. And we can't raise our sales and business taxes because we're not investing in our business and sales.
Yes, that.
And people complain about the potholes in the roads. Well, you also complain about the taxes you're paying. Which one do you want?
Yes, exactly.
That's where the money comes
I
from.
never realized how important local politics really are. I
And
wish more people realized
Yeah.
that,
And-
that's really the
When I started running, that was my line to all the young people that was like, oh, I'm so glad you're running. I'm like, well, good. You should pay attention because that should be the first stop. I hear y'all complain about Olympia and DC all the time. You think Olympia and DC is complaining about Walla Walla? Like, you need to be looking at City Hall over here.
yeah.
Right.
Right?
What are
Like,
the decisions being made?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to your very first question. Why did I get involved? Right?
Yeah.
And that's why. It's because what happens local affects local.
Yes.
Right? And those making those decisions locally for whatever angle they come from, that they make decisions. College Place traditionally was a place that didn't do a lot of investment in the community. So you were talking how different it was today.
Yeah.
And it's not, again, in malice, like you said, trying to dog the past, but former leaders didn't want to ask people for more money,
Right.
right? So let's not ask them for more money, but they're not putting in more money. So I come in mayor in 2019 with a population of just under 10,000 people with one functioning water well,
Wow.
one clean water functioning water well,
Whoa.
because they didn't have the money to build more water wells for this community.
That was growing.
That was right. And this water well was old,
Yeah.
but because by not asking more money, they didn't have more water wells, clean water, right? Because it's clean water. And it's like, and if that one water well motor went out, we
Right.
were in trouble,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Today we have 8, right? And we're still,
Wow.
right?
But
It's taking a lot of investment, but that's what, the community sure would feel it if they suddenly couldn't turn on that tap water
Oh, yeah.
and have
And
clean water come
You
out.
would hear about it.
Right.
And
Immediately.
normal,
Right.
Like, I didn't,
And
yeah.
it's like you've got to invest. And in the past, when they're making decisions based on, well, I don't want to ask them for that dollar. Well, you got to tell them what that dollar's buying them.
Right.
Right. It's buying them that safe, clean water.
Right.
It's
And
not-
sometimes it's not the thing that's pretty that everybody's going to walk by and look at and go, oh, isn't that amazing? Right. I talk about it because, I mean, home ownership isn't all, oh my God, we're going to do this amazing house project and everybody's going to be like, look at your renovation. Some of it's like the pipes and the toilet and the thing went out and we have to get this thing fixed and no one sees it, but we know.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes me so upset with the anti-growth argument. Because people would be like, oh my gosh, you know, all this anti-growth, all this building, you change on Walla Walla. And I'm like, but a lot of that new growth and building is also changing infrastructure that it has been long overdue, needing to be that updated. Because this new piece is going in, it's going to tie in some new infrastructure that's actually going to fix some issues that should have been fixed.
Right. It's the Isaac Street project.
The Isaac, yes.
Forever, but it was because every time they tore anything up, we had to redo all the
They
pipes.
found the pipes.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And it's
Yeah.
Every project.
Yeah, and
Ends up having to.
It's not sexy, but you know, when you flush that toilet, you want to know it's going down.
Right. I don't know where or care, but I don't want it
You don't want it.
anywhere near here.
You don't want it in your backyard.
Right? That's expensive work.
That is.
And it takes skilled labor to do it. And so those are the things that have to be done in order for your quality of life to be in the community. And sometimes with growth, they're investing all that money. They're going to fix all that for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like I get it. Like, you know, our community have such a historic look and feel to it that so many people love. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, we need to be putting more dollars on those tax books, like you said, to help maintain.
Just maintain.
Because maintaining old stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
We live in an old house where nothing's the same size.
I know.
Every project is like $1 million.
Yeah, we laugh at every single job we've done that like somebody will quote 5 and we're like, it's going to be 10.
Yeah.
And
And it is because they pull something up and they're like, oh, look at all the,
Look at all the rock band down
you're
here.
like, oh my God.
Back when this house was built, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Like, what?
Like, that's cool.
But then they do what you said, Norma, and they say, well, then let me tell you what's going to happen about when this thing here go out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what's going to happen to the rest of your house.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So what are you left with?
So what do you want to do? Because I can leave and you can live with it.
Yeah. Right.
Or I can fix it and you got that peace of mind, right?
It's an entire ecosystem like this, but people don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They just get their own little world and how am I going to benefit from this? And if I benefit from lower taxes, if I can afford higher taxes, I don't need to benefit from lower taxes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that person,
Right.
That is now going, well, if you wouldn't have moved in here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah,
I mean, that's the central district in
That's-
Seattle. Like, that is.
It's changed. It's completely
right out.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Central. It's not even.
It's not even that
It's
anymore.
not.
it was Fremont. Fremont was super cool because it was where
And it was
with
funky
the artists,
Yeah.
right?
Then they like
The gentrification that happened, and now
people were like,
it's
we
hipsters.
want to live. We want to live by cool artists,
Right.
And they're like, where'd the artists go?
Yeah.
It's like, well, your $1 million loft.
Is now somebody's cool place to live, a doctor's, cool
Uh-huh.
place to live.
Yeah.
Because forget about that, it was an artist place,
Yeah.
right? And that's exactly what happened. And I think those of us in civic leadership are trying to make the right decision
Yes.
Yeah.
on the community as a whole, not my community, not my people, not my income tax brackets, the community as a whole. That means some are going to be, get less and some are going to get more. But as a whole, does it lift everybody up in the end? Right?
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to do. I know that's what Rodney's trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do.
I was worried because he does like to. Who doesn't like people to be happy with you want to make people happy, but I was like, there's going to be those moments because you can't make every person happy.
Right.
And like, you're just going to have to do what you know in your heart is the right thing.
As a whole, what's the right decision, right? And this is what I'm thinking is the right decision as a whole for the community.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry it changes the look of your neighborhood. I'm
Right.
sorry it's going to do this. I'm sorry that, you know, however, in the long run, right? Because like you said, we're talking about downtown Walla Walla got all this investment. Well, that was great for downtown Walla Walla,
Right.
but it's hurt Eastgate, which was again an affordable neighborhood, and it's hurt other areas of the region.
It's something to say about when you're trying to force a whole community of people to go to one specific place to shop. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I downtown is beautiful, you know. I live over here on this side. So the times I can run over here on the Eastgate side and grab my shopping, we go to that opposite way more than we go to that.
Right.
Right? And I don't think that's bad. People are gonna go and support where they feel like their ground zero community is at.
Right.
Right? So when we talk about the new development going out by that whole
Oh, right.
big,
Milk Creek is that what it's called? I can't remember.
I'm beginning with an M. I forget the name of it too. I should know.
It's supposed to have its own.
But they got like strip malls and commercial spaces in it.
Smart design.
Right, and it's beautiful. And I'm just so shocked that there are people that's attached to our downtown, whether through being a business owner or just feel like everybody should shop there, that think that is the worst project ever. And I get it. Like, you're never gonna please everyone. But I've had conversations with people asking, like, why do you think that's a bad thing? And they're like, well, because I was downtown and struggling. I'm like, well, that shouldn't be on them.
Right.
That's not their fault. If I buy a house out there, the thing that's going to make me even more enticed to buy a house out there is knowing I can shop out there.
The people who are going to shop there are not your downtown customers.
Right, exactly.
Right. It's kind of like when I was running for election, somebody.
Downtown that are cool and funky.
Yeah, right. It's
Why are
better.
you always chasing teenagers out of there? Then you get so
You don't want them there, right?
you don't want it there, but then you want people to spend money there, but then you're kicking out the.
But you want the right kind of people there, right? So it's like anybody who's going over there is not your shopper.
Right.
So you know, it's not who you're catering to. You're catering to the people who are looking for that vibe,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And for example, you know, like that's not my vibe. You will hardly ever find me in downtown Walla Walla.
Yeah.
Just because it's not my vibe and it's pretty much not my income bracket. right. Same thing. I need a blouse, and there's not a lot of plus size blouses, and what there is $90 for a blouse. Like, I can't afford that.
That's a lot.
So you're not going to lose me as a customer base, but the people who are going to go to that are the people that are living in that community.
Yeah.
They want to be around their community. If your business is already struggling without them here,
Right.
what does that tell you?
Yeah.
It's your business. It's not the people or the development.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like they're hanging on for dear life to what they've got, and they can't, they don't have the foresight to see that change is positive for that.
It's for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the reason you're hanging on is because what was a success has already moved on. It's past.
Yeah.
Right. You're on your way out. And if you don't adapt, right.
Or die.
Right. Adapt or die. It kind of goes back to College Place. I know the city council that put me in the first place. They needed something different. They needed different ideas and different mindsets and different, so that's why they also supported a different former city administrator that came in with different ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't from here, and that's what they wanted. Somebody to bring something different.
Yeah.
It's been successful for us, and it's the same thing for any place is like it's an ebb and flow. It's already passed. Something new's got to move in because it's getting expensive even for the tourists to come here.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It
So
is.
then now they're going to the next place that got smart and invested 10 years ago in that, but it's still cheaper than us.
Yeah. And watching I think even with the tourists that can still afford to come here, just seeing all the rents down there, it's so depressing to them. That makes them not want to come to.
You and I were talking with a woman. We were at a conference a few weeks back ago, and there was this woman from Washington. I think she was from the West Side. She's coming down here for Memorial Day, And she was all excited because she says, I'm coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming down your area for, she's like, but I can't find a hotel I can afford.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Right?
Yeah.
She wants to come experience Walla Walla. She's never been down here, or she thought, it's good. I've heard great things, but she can't afford a freaking hotel.
Yeah.
Right? So what good does it do them if this woman wants to come down here and had already bought, plans on trying to come down here, and she can't find a hotel that she can afford to stay at?
Yeah.
They've already alienating this whole community of people that could be coming and spending.
Yes.
And then, kind of knowing her, she'd probably come to downtown and she'd probably say, okay, what's there here for me?
Yeah.
And we need to diversify our tourism. My husband is always throwing ideas, always at me. But College Space needs to host this. You need to host that. You need to host, which is great, but I don't have the staff to do it, right? And I don't have our downtown association is just barely starting to build, so they're just in their infancy. But there's lots of other tourism. People are quirky.
Yeah.
They will come and spend money on quirky things that are of their interest. I was at a board meeting in Portland last week. At the same hotel, they were having a conference of a Western Association of Propane.
Thank you.
Propane and propane accessories.
Thank you.
And I'm like, and it was this conference of these propane people.
Yeah.
It's like, there's all kinds of things out there that you just need to be smarter on. And and my husband's always throwing ideas like, I would love to do that if I had somebody to organize it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I believe it would bring that tourism in.
But I agree with you. It's just being able to get out of the way and allow for diverse tourism to come through and like diverse idea. Like not every idea is going to be something that makes me be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that. But if I can see how it's going to impact the community as a whole in a good way, you bet your bottom dollar I'd be like, oh my gosh, we should do that.
Yep.
I might not be there,
right?
But we should do that for
because
our community.
As a whole, it's going to benefit the community.
Yeah, exactly.
And right now, as a whole, our community needs some financial relief. They need, that property tax relief. They need, and they need investment in their community that they can't always be paying for.
Yes, exactly. So we got to, get those dollars in there and get them on the books.
Absolutely. We went all over the place. Thank you for this conversation. I loved it.
The journey.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us. This is Norma. This is my wife, Elaine. And until next time, it's Coffee Talk saying goodbye.
Bye.